Hi, good evening. Welcome to the 19th of November, almost Thanksgiving, version of the Kennebunkport Planning Board. We're here this evening. There are 4 members of the board, so we do have a quorum. Mike West is, he called in sick at the last minute, but otherwise the 4 of us are here. First order of business, do we read the minutes?
I thought the minutes looked dandy. I'd say approve.
I second that.
Have a motion?
Motion to accept the minutes.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are accepted. We also have minutes from a site walk on the 1st of October that Nadia was kind enough to write up. Did you get a chance to look at those?
Did.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion to accept these minutes?
I would move to accept those minutes.
And a second?
Second.
Yeah? In favor? 4-0. Thank you, Nadia, for that.
Of course.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yes.
All right, and the first agenda item this evening is number 250802, 132 Marshall Point Road. Oh, let me just interject that we do have a Zoom capability this evening, and I believe we're actually going to exercise that for the last agenda item. But as we go through, this is a continued initial review, so Zoom audience is welcome to observe. Mr. Gilliam?
Yes, good evening, Board. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. For the record, my name is Warner Gilliam. I'm here on behalf of Mark and Rachel Aslett, who own property at 132 Marshall Point Road. We were here, gosh, I guess a couple of months ago, looking at essentially a phase 2 for revetment for their property. So for those of you that may recall, this board had reviewed and approved, the first section of a revetment that was built on the property, and then we continued on with permitting for a phase 2 of the rest of the shoreline of the property. So, if you'll may recall, there's an existing stone wall that's there that's in pretty rough shape, and that's continued to deteriorate. So. When we were here last, we were in the process of going through our DEP, NERPA permitting process, and at that particular time, I had asked to just pause the process until we had gotten our final NERPA approval. Again, just if in the situation that if there were changes that were being made to the plan, so that everybody had a consistent plan. So we did make some amendments to the plan, and I'm happy to talk to those as we go through some of the slides. The board also, you all had asked, you wanted to see what the revetment looked like in terms of what had been constructed, and so I've got a little video of that this evening. So next slide, please.
So you do have your NERPA permit at this
That's
point?
correct, yes.
Okay.
We do have the NERPA permit, and that copy's been provided to you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, yeah, Dave, if you can go ahead and start the video, please. You might have to get out of the slideshow and push the play tab there.
Yeah, there you go.
Slow motion.
Cannot play media. I'm sorry, I don't know why, but it's saying it's a problem.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go.
Can I share my screen? I was able to play it earlier.
Sure.
Okay.
I was able to play it on mine too, but we can go back to it. There you go.
You can't really tell, but it is plain.
Okay. Yeah, so this area here, on the previous version of the plan that you all had seen, we had a dune restoration that was shown in this area. But so as you can see, I mean, you know, the dune grass has come back in pretty well, and so we've actually, so that's the portion of the plan that we removed, was the additional dune restoration, as we've just elected to allow it to continue just doing what it's doing, you know, currently. So everything is, you know, the vegetation is coming back pretty well there. So that's really is the biggest change to the plan, was the removal of that additional dune restoration. Maine Geologic actually was looking and was asking whether or not we would consider to do further dune restoration down closer into the intertidal area, but we elected not to do that, primarily just because it's lower into the intertidal area, and that brings up a whole other slew of permitting requirements with the Army Corps. So what you're looking at now is the revetment as it was constructed in phase 1. You know, so there's the edge of phase 1, and phase 2, you know, if you can imagine, is just a continuation of that revetment along that existing wall that's there. And then it's going to it'll continue along to the wall, and then we'll wind up stopping right at the stairs that are indicative of where the neighbor's property line is located. And so there was also a question previously, you know, what type of shoreline revetment does the abutting property have? And you can see from the photos here, you know, you can see that they have something, you know, very similar, you know, to what it is that we're proposing. So
Very much in keeping. Yep.
that's correct. Yeah, that where the bushes are.
So
Yep.
from the left, okay.
Yeah, that's, you know, that approximates the property line there.
Thank you.
Yep.
Very helpful.
So yeah, I guess we can go back to the slides. Yeah, so we can probably go past that slide, Dave. Yeah. So yeah, so as we talked about, there was the extent of the previous approval that had been constructed. We can move on to the next slide. And so you can see here, the stones that are indicated in brown indicate the previous approval, and what you see in gray is phase 2. You'll also note that we have a vegetated buffer that's to be installed on the back side of the existing and the proposed revetment. The rock that you see that's there in purple is that area that'll be below the hat line. Next slide. Yeah, and this gives you just a cleaner and better shot of the property line and the stairs in question. So, next slide. This is just our typical cross section of what you'll see up against the wall. Next slide, please. And then this is a continuation of that cross section where a boathouse. There's that small little boathouse that was right directly in the shoreline. It's been removed. And that area just becomes infilled. So, next slide. There we go.
Looks good.
And so in your packet, we also, I know there was a question just in terms of, the engineering, design of it. And so Norm Chamberlain, who's the engineer of record for the project, provided a statement in terms of indicating, the questions that the board had relative to the abutting property. Yeah, and that's at the end. That's the end of the packet. So, yeah, so I'm happy to answer any
questions from the
that
board?
The board has.
The question I have is, have
Let's
we
start with Rick.
approved the
We'll just go down from one end.
Oh,
Yeah. It's not used to having
So-
someone on your left down there.
That's right. So I did read through and I appreciate the detail you provided. And the only thing I didn't see, I know obviously, like everybody probably knows this area fairly well. What's the plan to get the material to the site? And I imagine that, I didn't see that, it might be in here, but I didn't see.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
that road's kinda sketchy getting in there, so I imagine there's gonna be some big machinery coming in and out.
Yeah, I mean, they'll use the same access that they did for the first phase, so, if we can go back, here, I'll show you on a plan. So here on the plan, it indicates the construction access, so they come right off of their existing driveway, and then they'll
Go right
put
into the yard?
timber mats into the yard, and then just work all the way
Okay.
across the backyard.
Okay,
So,
alright.
um,
And then as far as getting to this point,
this is the driveway,
yeah, but then there's a dirt road to get down there, right?
that's all paved.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, this was the way that,
Okay.
so Lincoln Environmental is a contractor doing the work, and this was their access that they came in for this first phase.
Okay.
A lot of travel, those are big rocks.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's gonna be
it's
really,
impressive.
you know, as long as, I guess my only concern is making sure that, you know, that road is old, trees down, and I don't want the trucks coming through there, knocking trees down, destroying the road, so I'm sure that any abutters would have been here if they had an issue, but, okay.
Yep.
Seems like you've done phase one and it worked out okay.
Yeah, and most of these projects, they'll do these over the winter time. You know, it's certainly, there's less impact, to a lot of those items, so.
Okay. That was my only question, just wanted to understand that.
Peter?
My only question was whether we had already approved the waivers, the suggested waivers on lighting, signs and floor area.
I don't know, but I certainly think we could do that right now. There were three of them, right? And they were items that weren't pertinent, yeah.
We accept those waivers.
I,
for each of
I would second that. In favor?
In favor, aye?
Yeah. Really, submission waivers, just to be clear, right?
Peter, next time, could you pull the mic a little closer to you?
Sure.
George?
I just wanted to note that I was surprised but really happy to see that you didn't have to do the dune restoration. You guys put a lot of work into thinking that through, and to have it come back naturally was pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was my only observation.
Fingers crossed on the winter,
Right,
you know? So,
Next year when you come back in, put a new set of slides.
that's right.
I had one question. Were we able to take care of there may be an update to this package that I didn't see, but the last time we flagged a couple of inconsistencies on the application page, Werner, with respect to percentage of lot occupied by buildings and other impervious.
I'll
remember that?
I'll have to take a look at that. I think those numbers were identified on the plan, but I'll double check the
Yeah,
application
I just didn't want the
page.
application to
Sure.
be wrong. I think we
Yep.
were gonna remove the percentage of lot occupied by buildings as being not applicable. You guys
Yeah,
correct
I'll-
me if I'm wrong here. And then percentage of lot occupied by other impervious was gonna go from existing to proposed 14.4 to 14.8, and we decided that was wrong. It wasn't going to go up.
Yeah, everything is over existing ledge.
Exactly,
that's
so
there.
something's
Yeah.
wrong there, and it's
Well,
on one of the early pages.
Yeah, I think, one of the differences was there was a change in the building because there was that building that was removed, right? That
Anything that
little-
should
that
go
little
down.
boathouse, was removed, I think, from a building square footage, but I'll take a look at those
So-
numbers, and if I need to get you a
Let's not,
updated sheet.
it shouldn't be misleading.
Yeah,
And
understood.
right now, it's just an anomalous, and we questioned it last time. I don't want it to go unresolved.
Yep.
That's all. Anything from,
Oh, you'll
the
notice I
code
had just
for
one
office.
comment left in there about wastewater, but I talked to Warner and everything's
I think
fine,
we're
so,
good.
yeah, I'm all set there.
no, good flag. All right. So like to open the, we don't open it tonight. So I'd like to make a motion that this is a complete application
I would second that.
with the stipulation you're gonna provide us an update as required for that one page.
Correct.
Okay. Board agrees.
Aye.
So that'd be public hearing December 3rd.
Yeah,
We're looking at,
that's our,
that's our next meeting? Yep.
is that okay
So
with you all?
December
Yep,
3rd.
sounds good.
Yep.
All right, great. Thank you very much, board.
Thank you, Warner.
Thank you, Warner.
Thank you.
Oh, just to be clear, we think that Mike West is the case manager for this. We should confirm that at the next meeting. Okay. The next item on the agenda, and really there's two that are coupled here, is 25-1001, 127 Ocean Ave, and the issue, they're both, this one and the next one at 133 Ocean Ave, 25-1002, have a parking plan that we asked for last time that is shared in common, so it'd be great if we could just talk to that combined issue.
Hi, I'm John Einsiedler, representing the Breakwater properties at, as mentioned, 127 Ocean Ave and 133 Ocean Ave. And the proposal is to remove at 127 Ocean the spa rooms and convert them into 4 new hotel rooms. That particular switch results in a reduction of parking places of 14 spaces. The other property at 133, we're proposing to take where there's staff housing and create a new hotel unit, which will have 5 sleeping rooms, which would end up having 5 additional parking places. Due to staffing with the combined properties, the net result is having a reduction of 7 parking places required between the 2 properties which share parking. Hopefully that sums it up. That's about the gist of it.
We start with, well, maybe I could start this one.
Sure.
So what our request was last time for a simple, clear parking plan that showed the location of the spaces and the requirement.
Yes.
And I don't know if we could maybe bring that up on the display. But I, for one, I thought that the write-up that said, basically, there's 59 spaces provided at 127 Ocean Ave, and there's 33 provided at 133 Ocean Ave for a combined supply of spaces of 92.
Correct.
And then you added up what the proposed need was, and wonderfully, that matches 92. So I thought you provided on one piece of paper something that said, here, we have 92 spaces. There's a diagram that says, here's where they are, and it exactly meets the need. I question why and whether you wanted to remove the statement that says that this is a net reduction of parking required. Because it suggests that you have not had sufficient parking at the location.
Well, that was.
And I didn't see how that helped your case.
Well, only because that was from the previous planning board back in 2011. That was the condition of the parking and the required number of spaces from a previous planning board. So,
I don't think we ever saw anything that convinced me of that, but
Well, it was the, you know, it was from 2011, that was the count that was required, and that was what we had.
What was the count that was required?
And, well, I have that, but I think it was 99 spaces required back in 2011.
I see. And you only had 92,
Correct,
and they said that was okay.
correct. I'm going to have Werner be my expert witness.
I'm not sure why you're bringing it up, to tell you the truth. But
I would
go
take it-
ahead.
I would take it off. It just it brings up something that's confusing.
I
Just-
would,
Okay. No,
I
that's fine.
think it just obfuscates this whole thing, and this business of it being a net reduction. You've basically documented what the need is of the configuration you're proposing. You've said, here's a clear picture of where it is, and then you're throwing in this wrench that says, oh, by the way, this is 7 less than we needed before. I don't understand.
Okay, well, that's
So it's
fine
on-
with me.
it's
I
in
just
two
wanted to
different
be clear
places.
where we started and where we were going,
Well,
but
I'm,
that's fine, it's fine.
we have the same goal. We want this to be clear when we're done. And I don't want somebody in however many years, the difference between 2011 and now, looking at this and saying, well, that planning board back in 2025 gave us this thing that we don't really know why they approved it, but what I'd like to do is have something on the record that says, here's the documented need per the requirements. Here's how we satisfy it. And the planning board did go along with it, even though part of it was covered with grass. We showed them that we could access that, and we have a plan to keep it accessible. So if we can say that, and I can
Yep.
capture that on the findings of fact,
It's fine with me.
I'd be okay with it. I'm anxious to hear from the rest of the board what they think.
I'm okay with that statement, but I also understand it would be more clear with it all. Thank you very much for this diagram. It's exactly what I needed. To
Exactly.
be able to visualize what the parking was, because it's just the last time we're all going around kind of onesie-twosie.
Yep,
With our
yep.
fingers, this is great. Thanks. Looks good to me.
I have no questions.
I agree that the way I look at it, if the requirement is 92, just say the requirement is 92, and here's where my 92 come from. That's it.
That's fine with me.
So I think there's 2 pieces of paper that I'd ask you to clarify for the next time, and with that, I would propose that we say that this is a complete application.
I would second that.
All those in favor?
Great, no,
And
no
you'll
problem.
you'll provide that update to the
Oh, yeah,
office.
that's just a quick
Again,
delete.
it's in a couple of places, but
Yep. No,
And
no.
then
there'll be a
public,
public hearing on the,
December 3rd.
yeah.
And again, do we have some waivers we need to do here?
We suggested a whole bunch of, or actually, the applicant requested a whole bunch of waivers, basically for everything but floor area and parking, I guess, like, because they're doing no work outside, most of the submission requirements were requested to be waived.
Yeah,
So I can pull up a copy of the,
if the board, if we want to go through them one by one, we can do that, or in general, it's,
But you're the case manager.
well,
Would that
the
be
way I would
helpful?
propose to write this up is that that the items that the board required for submission were provided, and that the others were waived. You know, some examples are the lighting plan, or the, you know, et cetera, but this is mainly a focus on parking. So we're good.
Thank you.
For both of them. Yeah, just for the avoidance of doubt here, yeah. All right, we move on to the initial review for number 251004 Salty Acres. Sebago Technics is the agent.
Good evening. Alex Monastero on behalf of Chimberg Builders. Rob and Kelsey from Sebago Technics are also here with us, as well as Shauna from Chimberg. We all met a number of months ago and we came in for a preliminary design, and so now we're here back again for with a little bit more information. Our last meeting was very preliminary, just a sketch plan, so the proposal tonight is 3 new residential lots. I think the last time we came in, we were showing 4. We're down to 3 here on this plan, as well as an open space parcel in the rear. This is a 5.6 acre portion of a larger 15 acre lot. It's almost entirely located in the free enterprise zone. All of the 3 new lots meet the residential zoning requirements for lot size and frontage and all of those things. As you may remember, this is an existing road that comes down, and it services 1 lot, which was done by family subdivision in the back already. The site's largely wooded. There is a vernal pool located in the back, which is shown on the plans. That existing road that comes down is approximately 15 feet wide in its current state, and it sits within a 50-foot wide easement area. We are requesting 2 waivers for the roadway because of the existing condition of the road. So one is that 15-foot width, and the other is that the road not be required to be in the center of the 50-foot easement area, since it's already an existing condition over there. Expanding the right-of-way on the road would cause us to have, so you guys can see, would cause us to have some impacts to existing wetlands that are on site, and so we're asking to stay within that 15-foot existing condition on the plan so that we don't have to have any additional impacts to the wetlands there. It's just a, pretty simple 3-lot subdivision. Will be serviced by septics and wells. We did have 2 additional waivers on the subdivision requirements, which were the hydrogeological study, and the high-intensity soil survey. I know I have it written down on here somewhere. High-intensity soil survey. Since it's just a 3-lot subdivision, and those are pretty intensive studies, generally for larger developments. We're looking forward to getting your feedback on the site. We did incorporate a lot of the feedback that we got early on. We've had a couple meetings with the town planning staff as well, and from the initial preliminary consultation that we had with you all. And we're happy to answer any questions that you have.
I ask the members of the board, again, we'll start at the far end if, or we can come back.
Come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter, anything pop out?
No, nothing's popped out.
Okay. Well, we take 2 passes then.
Okay.
George, anything?
Thanks, it's a big design change.
Yeah.
Going from 4 to 3, but
Mhm.
I think it looks better. That 4th one was getting kind of stretchy.
Sure.
And there are a few comments from staff about outlining around the vernal pool, which makes sense in addition to the plan.
Absolutely.
And clarification on the HOA. Will the HOA include the owners of the other properties?
Yeah, so the abutting parcel that was done by family subdivision will be party to the road maintenance agreement here. So they know they're a family member of the seller. Chimberg is under contract to purchase this parcel.
Where are they on this map?
This
Oh,
right
okay,
here.
okay, yep.
Yeah. So they will be party to the road maintenance agreement there. In terms of the homeowners association itself, for like the open space and the protective covenants, that lot is an existing structure, so it won't be subject to those types of things, but it will be subject to any maintenance agreement on the roadway here.
And from the original subdivision, there's no access to that road, it's a separate road.
No, this takes access from this road currently, that's right, yeah. There is another road over here that takes access to a
That
couple
serves that other
lots.
property.
And this larger parcel that you see here is part of the parent parcel, which is 15.6 acres. So this 5.6 acres here is what is proposed to be subdivided into the 3 lots. The owner is retaining this. She has a home on this parcel. Her son, by family subdivision, broke off this lot. They put this road in, which is why it's an existing condition.
No, I was thinking more from the
These
original
3.
parcel that one broke off from.
I gotcha.
So that doesn't have any access to this road, that's just for the sole purpose of
This lot right
the
here.
division and the new subdivision.
That's right.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have any other questions.
I have some editorial questions, I think, or
Okay.
maybe just trying to understand. The cover letter from the 20th of October, do you have that?
I do.
Yeah,
I didn't bring that, but I've got it.
okay, good. There's some confusion in my mind
Okay.
as I try to understand it. The title, preliminary subdivision application review, Spank subdivision, Salty Acres Road, Kennebunkport, MBLU colon 24/5-6B2.
Yeah, that's the tax map number here. It is a little convoluted.
The tax, as I understand it, we're talking about, that's the that's referring to the number of the entire existing tract,
That's correct.
right? And it's 24-5-56.
Yeah, 24-5-6B2.
So I would ask that this cover letter, if you do make some changes to it after we have this discussion, you change that reference to be 24-5-6B2.
Sure, absolutely,
rather
can do,
than-
no problem.
And the reason that isn't like, oh, why is he picking on that, is because, well, let me follow up. There's two other places where there's variants of that. Says it talks about the total area of the proposed subdivision will be 5.6 acres. To be taken from an existing 15.8 acre lot identified as Lot 5-6B2 on the town of Kennebunkport, tax map 25. So where is that?
Yes, so the whole parent parcel is here.
It's all on map 24 though, isn't it?
24, Block 5, Lot 6B2.
Right, so calling it as part of map 25 is just a typo?
So it says Town's Tax Map U07, Lot 24-5-6B2, which is, it's Tax Map 24, Block 5, Lot 6B2, is this entire parcel?
No,
In the cover letter, what you're saying is there's a slash instead of a
No,
dash?
I said that. Now I'm down
Okay.
on the second paragraph where it says project description. And it's talking about
Lot
tax
5.
map 25.
That's a typo.
Okay, so that's a typo. And then later on in the next paragraph, it talks about the neighboring property which is adjacent, which is identified on map 24 as lot 5-6B2.
I see what you're saying.
So that can't be the same lot number.
Yes,
Right.
it's 6B1.
So that one's okay.
It seems like there's a number of typos in the way that these were identified in the cover
Right.
letter. We will absolutely get those
So
corrected.
so I'd like to get that squared away, but in the process, I'm hung up on nomenclature. It seems to me that we have an existing lot that is 15.8 acres. And you are subdividing that lot.
Correct.
And you are going to end up with, you tell me if I'm wrong here, 5 lots. You're going to end up with
4 lots.
5.
Okay,
Let me enumerate
Sure.
what my brain is
okay,
confused about.
okay.
4 of them are going to be on the left-hand side of your map as you're facing it. 1, 2, 3, and an open space. And the 5th one is the part that you're not putting new lots. So it is a subdivision of a lot that is 15.8 acres into 5 pieces. Right?
Sure, yeah, this portion will remain as 24-5-6B2.
Yes.
These 3 will be new residential lots, plus a
Yeah.
4th
So you'll
open
have
space
4 new
lot.
numbers,
That's right, and 1 will remain.
but it is a subdivision of that large parcel.
Completely
into-
understand what you're
and
saying, yeah.
I think if you frame it that way,
It'll make more sense.
It'll flow,
Sure,
and you're right, you're only developing this part, but that's,
I hear you. Yeah, thank you.
I took the trouble of, because we don't, we're not all lawyers or anything, but
I understand.
we're
yeah.
trying to read through the language and the main statutes and all of that, and it's all, I think, we have to think about it in terms of, and it's confusing here because they are broken into pieces. So let me throw out one other complication.
Okay.
Is the road itself a part of 5-6B2?
It is. It is an easement.
An easement,
The roadway was given as an easement to access,
but what
I'm trying to make
lot
sure
is it
people can hear
in?
me. B2. This, if I could, well, I'll use a pencil. I think I have a highlighter, but it'll take me longer to find it.
Okay,
So this whole thing here
yes, the original
is
one
the
before.
parent parcel.
Oh, oh,
This lot,
okay,
yeah, this lot here
yeah.
was broken out by a family subdivision and deeded to the son of this parcel.
Right. and
This was granted as an easement for the son to access his home here.
But it remained in 5-6B2.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And will going forward after this development?
That's right. It's intended, the way that we have presented the plan is that it will remain as an easement.
it will remain as an easement. It is a, okay.
And the road is intended to remain private.
Is the road going to be a separate lot?
No, it is not intended to be.
What lot is it a part of?
B2. The parent parcel, B2.
B2. Which one is B2 again?
This whole big one. Right now, it's this whole big one, right? And then these will be, just to further complicate, B2-1, B2-2, B2-3. And I'm not sure what
It
your
is- it-
assessor will actually
Let
call
me say it a
them.
different way. The 15.8 acres is inclusive of the road,
Correct,
all right? That's not going to change.
correct.
You are going to subdivide 15.8 acres.
We're going to subdivide off 5.6 acres, which will be
So the road
combined.
is going to remain with the right-hand portion that is forested largely now?
You've got it, yep.
Okay. all
It's
right.
mostly field, yep.
I'm with you. But it is in one of the 5 lots
Correct.
that you're going
It
to end up
is,
with.
it is,
right?
yes,
And
it is.
everybody has an easement to go over it.
That's exactly right.
Yes. All
Mhm.
right. Cool. I got it, I think. Did I raise more questions than I? No. Okay.
No, that was helpful. Thank you very much.
You have a statement in there, I'm just going back over the notes I made this afternoon on this, and in the existing conditions, and it says, the neighboring lot, which I think is the one that's the slice out of the pie in the top.
That's right. That should be identified as B1.
B1, or it was created within the past 5 years, deeded to an heir of the property, and is therefore exempt for consideration. Well, no, I mean, I think you're considering it. You're considering the access that they need to the road, and you're considering that they're gonna be part of the road maintenance agreement. So
Sure, sure. I think
I
the
don't know that I would
intent-
be so bold as to say,
It's
I-
not considered part of the
Okay.
subdivision. That's what
Yeah,
it's already was broken off from a
Right.
larger piece, and it wasn't a subdivision because it was to an heir. We agree with that.
Well,
But the
it also,
language is
it
confusing
doesn't need
there.
to be a subdivision. If they just break off one piece, even if it wasn't an error, you're allowed to break off one piece every 5 years. So the one piece that's already been broken off,
But this happened within the past 5 years, so,
I do believe so.
yeah,
but-
it
Yeah.
is. I'm
So
just
it would
saying
be
it would
required
be
to
a
come under
problem,
review, but
except
it's
that it
a
went to
family
an heir.
subdivision, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's not, I agree that it's not
We
part
can
of the
edit that,
subdivision
certainly, sure.
calculus, but I just want to be careful saying it's exempt from consideration, because
Sure, they're gonna be a party to the
You're very
road.
clearly worrying about it, and rightly so.
Sure, understood.
Okay. With respect to the width of the road, 15 foot, I for one don't have a problem with that, but I'd be interested in what the code office thinks about that, and whether there's any other
Sure.
concern from the fire department, for
So
example.
it is 5 feet narrower than the requirement for the number of lots that it's serving.
Right.
We'll be serving 4 lots already, and with possibly serving additional lots on that right-hand piece that is not yet being subdivided, but who knows what will happen at some point in the future.
Right,
So, you know, I think the board is, and we noted this in the memo, the board is able to waive that requirement if there are environmental concerns.
right.
So you guys just need to weigh the possibility of future lots there as well. The turnaround does meet all of the standards for the fire truck to actually get
Which is
around
great.
and come back down. So it's up to the board if if that wetland impact is more important versus the potential of more future lots on the same road that's already significantly narrower than our road standards require.
I got a few more, but let's just
But
ask
to
the
that
board what
point,
they
if-
think about this.
If they did decide down the road to add more lots, they would have to come back.
That's right.
And at that
That's true.
point, we could say, hey, nice try.
Yes,
We have to
yes.
widen that
No,
road.
and
Yeah,
I
that's
I
right.
think if that's what our thinking is, we'll capture that in the findings. That
Right,
we held
right.
that as if you're open to saying it's okay with just this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot of homes.
I think certainly that makes sense, making a note in the findings that this is not a blanket exemption for the
Right.
future, like if they come back for subdivision at some point in the future to revisit the road. But really it is just, there's two concerns that are being balanced here. One, not meeting the standard, or two, more wetland impact.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
That's an easier argument when there are only 3 houses, not 4, too.
It's true, there's
Yeah.
only 1 foot difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it is right. And it's not a city block, it's a,
And that was
That's
my
right.
error in the memo. I was only thinking about the 3 lots of the subdivision. I didn't think about the 4th lot that is already being served by the road. So it is actually 5 feet under the
Yeah,
road standard as opposed to the 1 foot under that I mentioned in the memo.
well, I for one am open to granting that waiver request.
And like I said, the turnaround meets all of the standards. The road width of the turnaround is good, and the radius also meets our standards.
Okay. What's snow removal like on that road? You must already know. Where's it?
Yeah, so currently, because there's just one owner out there, he's just doing it for himself, but obviously this will have a full homeowners association and will be
I'm just
fully
thinking of,
maintained.
where does the snow go? Is
Yeah,
it pushed
It-
pushed to the side?
it's
or
gonna
is
be
it-
pushed to the side along the, most of the, right away as you go down. But there is, some area that snow storage can be, done. And then, of course,
Obviously,
in the
circle
center
is
of the
is
circle,
is
yeah.
the tricky part, if you will.
Mhm.
But, all right,
There is an area marked for snow storage on this plan as well.
Nice.
Demarcated out, so.
okay. So talk a little about the need or the lack of need for the high-intensity soil survey and hydrological assessment. I take your point that this is not a 50-lot subdivision, but you are going to require wells and septic. Typically, the considerations for wells and septic, it comes out of those surveys, or
Sure.
how are you going to achieve that? How are you going to gain that knowledge?
Yeah, so for the hydrogeological study, we're only drilling 3 wells here. The concern for a high-intensity soil survey and a hydrogeological study is if we're gonna have an untoward impact on our neighbors. Our neighbor is the seller on, multiple
Right.
sides.
And stormwater too, of course. Is
Yeah, of
the other-
course, yep.
yeah.
And stormwater has been, fully designed. I'm sure you guys saw in your packet, there's a lot of information on stormwater in there for you. We dug a number of test pits on the site, so we
You
have
You've
soil.
Okay,
Yeah, we have soil information from those test pits, which is included, those test pit logs are included in your packet. And so, from experience of, doing many subdivisions, when the wells become an impact, when a hydrogeo would be important is generally in those really large draw community wells, or when we're having a bunch of individual wells along a densely populated area. So this is, a big tract of land for just 3
Yeah,
wells,
yeah,
and so that's the
yeah.
justification in our minds. yeah.
okay, okay. You say that the electric and telecommunications lines are overhead and they appear to have been extended through Salty Acres Road private way.
Yes, I caught that as well. It is. There's a transformer down there. They've been
So
extended
if you make
underneath
the
the road.
editorial changes,
Yes, we will
Okay.
update that. Thank you.
just, again. And has Acorn gotten this stormwater?
Yep,
Package already?
I sent you guys the Acorn response, and
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
in the
we have
the
it.
I
SharePoint.
haven't followed.
There are still a few outstanding comments on that Acorn
Yeah,
response.
but we've got the process started, and
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going.
that's all I had.
Thank you.
So, my major concern was that 100-foot buffer for the vernal pool. I think it will significantly impact, I think, your development plans on Lot 3, so it would be very helpful for us in reviewing to be able to see that. I think it was already mentioned about the road association agreement with the existing lot, so I think that's coming down the road. And I mentioned this in the memo, but just to make you aware, we have already run out of growth permits for the rural zone for 2026, so no development will be able to take place on this lot until 2027.
Wow.
Just something to keep in mind as you're going through the process.
Are they all take? I know my understanding of the growth permits is there's like, you can reserve them and
there
then they
could be some
come
change.
back.
The wait list is full for 2026. So
But if they come back, we could throw our hat in the ring if
That's-
we
yes.
get approvals? Okay,
Yes.
great, thank you. Yeah,
yeah, you need to have a lot in existence.
right. Okay.
I think that's good for me. Once we can see that 100-foot buffer, that will be helpful for us.
We'll
to
definitely get that
answer
added
any
on the next
remaining
version of
questions. Yep.
plans and see how it impacts. We have
Mhm.
some wiggle room. I like roughly pencil scaled it out this afternoon to take a look, and so it might have some small impact on primarily the septic, but we'll get that
Mhm.
added for the next round for you all, for sure.
Nadia, I understand about the availability of the turnaround for fire trucks. Has the fire chief talked about the availability of water?
I haven't seen anything come through for availability of water. We'll have our department head meeting to discuss applications next week. I'll certainly ask him about it then. And
Do you mean for
I'll
fire
update-
suppression, is
Yes.
that, okay?
Yeah. And so I'll certainly update you guys as well about what he
Do you
says.
know what the existing lot has?
It likely has not, my assumption, I do not know. My assumption it has nothing because it was done as a family subdivision and it's probably exempt from requiring a fire suppression system.
So are we in a position to consider this being a complete application? There's some,
I would recommend against that until we have the updated plans, just so that we're
explain
clear.
that change that you're looking for, the updated.
So right now, their septic design is within the 100-foot no disturbance buffer of that significant vernal pool.
I don't think
That's
I
also on the
appreciated
lot.
that, yeah.
So they're not allowed to clear anything in that buffer. So what we're looking for is just updated plans showing that 100-foot buffer as well as the new septic location. So I would advise against voting it complete until we have those updated plans.
I think that's good advice, Nadia, and I think it allows an opportunity to clear up the language in the application, and, what was the other thing I was gonna say? Escapes me.
That's the
That's
buffer.
100 foot.
Yeah, this of course is a pencil sketch, but it is scaled. So this area, we would have to remove the disturbance within that area. And so when we update plans, we will show that. As you can see, it's still a viable lot. There's, room for this is the proposed septic location. So there's room for that to move, no problem. And the house box is not within it. Our limits of clearing will have to, be pulled up, so our tree line will come here. But it's achievable for sure. I don't have any concerns about it. It's just not depicted on the plans.
We also penciled it out a little bit, and we're not concerned that you would be able to develop it, but we would like to see the plans for development before, before it moves through to the public hearing stage.
Okay.
I think this also allows us a week or two to drive the Acorn
Yeah,
review
absolutely.
comments to completion as
Mhm.
well, and that would increase my comfort.
Yeah, we can get you an updated memo with some of those corrections that we talked about and come back with hopefully a really
Awesome.
clear package for you all.
Great.
Thank you.
How mature is this land? Was it farmland or
So,
is it wooded? Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I haven't been to it.
so the area that the 3 homes are going in is almost entirely wooded. This area over here is almost entirely field. But yes, this is all, treed at this point.
Okay. I mean, not that I don't know, it caught my eye that there's not one specimen tree. I'm like, that seems
I
extremely
think there are some which
unlikely.
have been identified.
There are specimen trees that are on the plans. You'll see them on the plan. The labels were inadvertently turned off, but if you look through the lot, all the major trees were on there.
Okay, great, that's good. This makes me nervous when I hear
You're right.
there are no
We didn't do a
trees
very
worth
good job.
saving. So-
Yes.
Fire 47, right? Guys, do we have a case manager for this? Volunteer?
I'm wrapping
You
you up so I can volunteer.
We're
Okay.
really lovely. You're going to be in a great position to be our case manager.
It'll just write itself. Thanks, George. So we're gonna continue this, and will it be on the agenda for the 5th of
Yep.
December then?
Third,
If- third of
December 3rd.
December
The
3rd.
3rd of December, excuse me. Is that sufficient time?
Does anybody else want it?
Oh, come on, George. December 3rd it is. That sounds great. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, if Mike was here, he'd be clamoring for it probably.
And if there's any delays, just let us know. The agenda's not set tonight, so
Yeah.
there's time.
We're going to do everything we can to be here December 3rd.
Great.
When did the growth permits for, like, this year?
When do they come out?
No, when, like, was 2026, like, closed?
I believe last week we got the last application in for the wait list. This is kind of unprecedented. We've never
With
run
the-
out of growth
With the
permits.
legislation
the year before.
that just got passed by the, as that's looked at, is that gonna change the way growth permits are handled?
The short answer is yes, if we end up, like, if we have to go through. There's still things that are settling at the
As
state
that's all
level.
sorted, which will take a year.
The
but,
short answer is yes, and it's a long thing to get into. So if
No, I
you're-
don't-
if you
I
guys
don't
are
mean
interested
to.
in hearing about it, certainly you can come in. Galen and I are happy to talk to you about the impacts there.
Thank you.
SMPDC also did a great webinar about it that's on their website and is available to watch.
Okay.
Very thorough and good information.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, very clear. Appreciate it. With that, we're going to talk about Barrels Way, a change to the Barrels Way, an initial review, item number 251101.
Good evening. My name is John Orlando. Has me as the agent, but I'm a freebie. I just live on Barrels Way. I'm not for hire. I live there with my fiance in one of the 14 homes. She's the pretty lady in the middle over here, but all 3 of them are pretty, so I'm not going to get in trouble.
John, I have my back turned to you. Tell me your last name again.
Rolando.
Thank
with
you.
an R, yeah. So I want to thank Nadia and Kimberly for helping us put together a couple of the documents of this package, especially this geographic abutment information. So what we're here to appeal is on the subdivision application plan, it called for a 5-foot wide sidewalk delineated by a painted stripe on our Barrels Way. It's about 850-foot length street, 20 feet wide, into a cul-de-sac. And the developer, Paul Flaherty, did a great job hiring pavers, because it's a beautiful, I didn't know we could bring slides. I would have brought a thumb drive and put up one slide, and it would have been how beautiful that paving job is. Pristine, nice and dark, thick. I did have a picture on the attachment to my cover letter, which was for purposes of showing the signage that we have. The reason why we are appealing that line, and also there is crosshatch paintings being planned for a crosswalk, and that's on the engineering plan, sheet 3, which was part of the package.
Okay.
So there's gonna be painting on that surface. The goal is safety, I know that. We've been there for 5, 6 years, and we haven't had any incidents of safety. And we have always had children on the street. There was 2, now there's like 7 or 8 playing all the time with scooters running up and down. 8 of the majority of the homeowners are dog walkers. We're out there walking our pets 3 times a day. We're bicyclists. We're walkers and joggers. So we monitor the traffic that goes up and down Barrels Way on their way to and from Goose Rocks Beach every day. Just to ask people, who are they looking for? Slow down. And we're vigilant, very vigilant about that. And on our own initiative, we put up the 2 signs. And it's in the package. I can read you what it says, but it's basically, this is a dead end, 20 miles per hour, kids at play, private community, residents and guests only, no outlet. So the one vehicle we don't mind coming down is the Goose Rocks fire truck once in a while. And they have to make a U-turn. We love to see them. And we love to see the Kennebunkport police sometimes park at our entryway, because folks are not slowing down to 25 miles an hour on Mills Road.
Right.
Mills Road has a lot of bicycle traffic in the warm weather. I think if you counted it going both ways on a summer day in 2s and 3s in groups, would be about 200 bicyclists. We think that with that stripe along the side, that's going to invite bicyclists to tour up and down Barrels Way. And that's just going to create more congestion. We love bicyclists. I have 4 bikes, but safety is always our concern with those kids. Those kids are not going to be confined to that 5-foot right away on one side. They're going to keep playing where they've been playing. We didn't know about this stripe coming in until last month, because we're not into engineering.
When, you don't have the findings of fact from this. I don't recall ever, was I involved in Barrels Way?
I don't know when you joined the board, but
5
this
years ago?
subdivision was approved, so it would have been before your time. It was approved in 2017.
Okay,
So we're going back a few years on this one.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we've entertained a number of requests for waiving the requirement for a sidewalk. Obviously, that wasn't done in this case back in 2017. This has more houses on it and all, but
Right.
I'd like to get a copy of the findings.
They did submit a copy of the original findings with the application packet.
Okay.
I can hand you it right now.
Oh,
There's
the,
also, if you look in, I looked up the,
Could you identify yourself?
I'm sorry.
With
I'm
microphone.
Kristen
To the
microphone, to the
Martin. I'm pretty late.
She's my boss.
To the microphone.
on the microphone.
Online.
Oh, I'm Kristen Martin, and I'm the vice president of the HOA.
Okay.
I looked into the old
Sure.
minutes for the planning board.
Okay.
And on March 15th, 2017, let me find it now, they discussed putting in a raised sidewalk to just do this line going down instead. I can read it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm really curious, is this something that was, the planning board insisted on, or is it something that the planning board said, sure?
Well, it says, Mr. Wood also stated they are not proposing installing sidewalks because the property is not in a growth zone. Mr. Boak asked if the town planned to install a sidewalk along Mills Road. Mr. Gilliam, who's left now, I think,
Yeah,
replied there is not a formal plan to put a sidewalk in, but the town has been implementing widening shoulders for bicycle and pedestrian traffic. That's on Mills Road, and they did do that, as you know. Mr. Boak pointed out the applicant has stated they are targeting young families as their potential buyers and think sidewalks would be appropriate for families with young children. Like, how are you gonna keep the kids on the sidewalk, right? Mr. Perlmutter pointed out people are very active in the summer months, that even with an extended shoulder, there was a lot of foot traffic in the early evening hours. So that was their discussion about Mills Road and why it wasn't. So they basically decided that instead of building a raised sidewalk, they would put in the line, right, Paul? You'd paint the line down the street.
Okay.
It was a waiver.
Waiver.
In lieu of sidewalk and curb.
Yeah.
And we granted, the waiver was granted.
Sure.
And we're basically,
At the.
Could you step to the microphone, because people online cannot hear you? Thank you.
I was trying to avoid that.
I know. It's a small town.
I've been a number of times. Hi, I'm Paul Flaherty. I was the original developer.
Oh,
And the requirement for the paved stripe was in lieu of a sidewalk. It was a waiver
Yeah.
granted by the board to not require us to put the sidewalk in, but they said, please put in the white line,
I see,
paved white
I
line.
see. Your preference at that time, would that have been to have no sidewalk, or is it, Paul?
Who's speaking?
This is me.
Oh, okay.
Ed.
Well, obviously, what it boiled down to was an economic factor. And that's what we brought to the, to the attention of the board, and they said that's a reasonable and justifiable request,
Sure,
and we will waive the requirement for the sidewalk. However, we would like to see the 5-foot pedestrian
Okay.
way delineated with a white line.
understand. Okay, thank you.
And it never was,
it's never been put in
and never had a
because,
white stripe,
Well, no,
No.
because we just did the final coating.
yeah.
or just not, okay.
After the last house was completed, we just did the final coating on the road.
Yeah,
A month, maybe 2 months ago, October 13th, I think it was.
oh, here comes the paint.
Well, that
Right.
was the next step.
Yeah,
Right.
And
And we would
I
prefer not
ended
to
up
have it.
notifying the residents that we were gonna be coming and doing the striping, just to give them a heads up. And the heads up led to
Here.
just discussion.
And
This
is there a
is-
stripe in the middle?
Excuse me?
Is there a stripe in the
No,
middle of the
there's
road? There's no stripe
The
in the
only
middle.
stripe that was required was the 5-foot offset for the pedestrian way.
how wide is the paved surface?
Paved surface is like 20 or 25 feet.
Okay.
It's a 50-foot right-of-way
Yep.
with a 20-foot travel way.
Yeah, it's pretty wide. I'm looking at Google Earth
Oh, we
on it.
built
It
it
is.
according to the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we built it according to the town standards for an acceptable road.
Understood.
And the week before.
Oh, when you get 14 houses on it, it's,
Oh, the week
it's not
before
excessive, though.
we were granted permission, the town decided not to be accepting any more roads. So we built it as though it would be accepted by the town.
but it wasn't.
It was not.
It's not.
No,
It's a private road.
is the proposal to have the stripe on both going up and back, or just one side?
One side.
Just one
I
side?
believe one side. I
Okay.
haven't
Yeah.
reviewed it,
It's
but I
in the
believe one side.
plan there.
Only one side, and I'm not sure about the efficacy of it going around the cul-de-sac, because it would be kind of in the middle of the
Mhm.
cul-de-sac.
And of course, you would restripe it every year, right?
Oh, hand myself by hand.
Right.
Nadia, I mean, per the last discussion and the waiver request, 15 feet was not was not standard. The 20 width is standard,
That's correct.
but in effect, when you paint the line on it, you're reducing the 20 feet to 15 feet.
So the width standard is largely about plowing, actually, and I think it is important to note that oftentimes when there are these larger developments going in, we're anticipating that there's a moratorium right now, but oftentimes we're anticipating that down the road they'll ask to be accepted as a public street, in which case our plow trucks really need a minimum of 20 feet to get down the road. I don't think that the 5-foot stripe is in any way diminishing the value of that width of road. You know, cars are still, it still is a travel way. If there was some need for a car to be on both sides, they would have the space to do so. But it's largely a plowing issue as well.
Of course, since 2017, I'm not sure how much after that, but the subdivision regs were updated to put in the conditions under which the town might entertain making a private road a public one.
It's
and-
before my time, so I'm not
No, but in
familiar
my
with what
time.
it- Okay.
As part of my time, and this would clearly never qualify. You know, it really has to be part of a network of roads that are used by people other than the ones in the neighborhood to get from one important place to another important place, or some place that would be useful for safety vehicles, this type of thing. So, you know, just, and that's all economics. So I don't think, in fact, now that you're talking about that, there's never been really a rethinking of the width of roads.
Well, there are
Private
there
versus
are roads
public.
like this that have been accepted as public roads, so it's not unheard of.
Well,
But
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Right, we're
Yes,
not doing that, so.
Yeah.
we have
You
a
don't need to bring-
moratorium
you don't need to bring
forever,
that up
or
because
for
we're
all
not-
roads.
is this a sidewalk, this 5-foot stretch, or is it a part of the road? Because if it's a sidewalk, I presume there's no parking on it. Is there parking allowed on it?
It's part of the road.
Yeah, it would just
Clearly,
be a
yes.
stripe going down the road.
Right, because, but people can park there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's otherwise parking on a sidewalk, which strikes me as crazy.
exactly. And I don't think anybody's gonna use it.
No, I
I know
think-
our kids are not
Yeah.
gonna, so it's gonna be this silly white line.
It's
And
gonna
we
come down to,
prefer not to
and
have
you're talking to the environment that this neighborhood, and it is a neighborhood, has. And you're saying, no, the nature of the neighborhood is such that there are kids that use the street, they ride their bikes in the street, and they don't, they not, and will never confine themselves to to 5 foot. That would be an illusion for us to, an illusion of safety. And,
I'm trying to think of subdivisions, they're older than this one, but are there any recent ones? But I cannot think, I don't know them all, any subdivision in town that's got a white stripe. Touchstone, Fox Run, they don't have one.
no, we don't have.
They don't have it on Norwood Drive.
No. I don't know of any other subdivision, private roads that have a white stripe. Actually, I don't know any that have a sidewalk.
Prospect Reserve has a sidewalk.
A sidewalk.
Yes.
There are some with sidewalks, but they're not neither.
There's a few of them. And that makes the most sense when you are coming into a larger street, an artery that has a sidewalk, and that people could then use it to get to the beach, but that's,
one that
that's,
connects over
that's
to
not the
another
case
road.
on Mills Road, obviously.
Right.
I'm inclined, I think this comes down to, do we think it's a safety issue not having that white stripe or not? And I, for one, can't see it.
Haven't had one in 5 years.
Yeah,
No, we
more
haven't.
than 7
We
years.
have not had one.
Well, I don't know how long they've been,
Oh, since,
5 to 6 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
So I'm inclined to go along with this. Is there a public hearing required for this?
Yes.
I think so too. So I would
It's
say this,
technically a minor revision to
All
a
right.
subdivision plan.
so I would, are there any more questions? Can we propose that this is a complete application and that we would put this on the docket for a public hearing?
I make a motion this application is complete.
I'll second.
Four in favor? This is a butter that objects. I think,
I have a question.
Paul?
Yes. So this is going to go to public hearing? Yes, I'm sorry. This is going to go to public hearing, correct?
On the 3rd of December.
On the 3rd of December. So approval for this waiver will not take place until December
3rd.
3rd? Well, the town is holding $25,000 of my money right now.
2 weeks from now.
I know it, but I have,
It's only money, Paul.
well, you call up Dayton Sand and Gravel and tell them that. So
What
So
would you have us do?
well, what I would like to have some sense if this looks like it's gonna be an approved process for me, not to wait to have the town release the money to me. You know, that's basically my question. I mean, I don't wanna wait another 2 weeks for an approval to get the money, then time after that to have the money released, and I'll be over a month overdue on this bill, which impacts interest. They're gonna charge me interest for this, for the paving, for the bill. Whereas if I had just gone in and painted.
Isn't it
white-
too late to paint?
No, not at all.
It's so cold.
No. No, I touched base with the painting company, and they said, yeah, they can definitely paint.
So I don't know what to tell you,
Here's a
Paul.
possibility.
I mean,
No,
I'm
there's no
not, I've
possibility.
just got to figure this out. I'm just curious as to what the process will be.
On the 3rd of December, we're gonna hold a public hearing.
Yeah.
People are either gonna comment or they're not, and unless somebody comes up with a darn good reason that this board can't think of right now, we're gonna say, we accept it.
Yeah,
But-
well, I
Okay.
understand that.
So
I
at
just,
this-
I'll step in and take this. So the issue you've got, these guys can't deal with their issue. I think you need to go and talk to the town and see, but I don't, without an actual approval, go have a conversation with Galen and the staff, but I'm gonna stop it with the planning board. They have no, they have no role in this. Yeah, I get it.
They don't-
I'm just telling you as a selectman, I'm just telling
So-
you, it's no one in this room who can solve that problem.
You will either get approval or denial at the next meeting.
Oh, I understand.
So 2 weeks is the timeline for that.
And your other issue, you're just gonna have to deal with the town itself. Yeah, okay.
So here's
All right.
a question regarding that approval. Will a finding of fact, which is obviously contingent upon the public hearing, but once it's approved, would, in any application, they still have to wait for the findings of fact to be read before any other actions can be taken?
I think that this is kind of a unique case in
I
that,
can
it
answer
is.
that if you'd like. Galen and I have had that discussion. He said he would not hold the funds up
There you go.
until the finding of fact.
Exactly.
Until the finding of
because we're not waiting for development to happen, so that, like, they don't need to get a permit, they're asking not to do something that's on the plan, so there's usually, the issue with the findings is that we hold any permits until they, record the findings, but in this case, there's no permits to be issued, and so,
What I was gonna,
as the developer said, he's already spoken with Galen about the.
what I was gonna suggest is, and I know that this has happened in some instances, is that a findings of fact have been prepared anticipating that a public hearing is going to lead to an approval.
Oh, so the finding of fact would be on the day of the third.
You read
It could be available.
Public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else comes up in a public hearing, well,
I
then we
understand
just
your
rip it
position
up.
entirely, is you guys don't have the authority.
I don't see any reason why this
No.
can't be a one-page letter, findings of fact.
I would need to,
You sound like a
I think
case
this is maybe my second minor revisions, so I would need to go back and look to see what we've done in the past. But if you're saying that in the past they've just written a one-page letter, I would be more comfortable looking to see what we've done for findings of fact
Could you do that?
previously, yes.
Thank you.
To December.
We'll look to
Yes,
expedite
December
it,
3rd.
Paul, but I can't solve the problem.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
You bet.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank you, and I want to thank Paul for delaying the painting. I'm sorry it's costing you money.
And if you used like disappearing ink. No, they didn't have to charge you for it. Okay, never mind. Item number 6, this is the first of two more. Item number 241201, Rabbit Run subdivision, Longview Partners LLC agent.
Good evening. Thank you for making some time for me this evening once again. I'm
Thanks
Bill
for your
O'Connor
patience.
with Longview Partners, and I'm here happy to answer any questions that you might have with regard to the public hearing phase of our proposed 3-lot subdivision located off of Mills Road.
We also talked, last time you were here about, the availability of water from the fire department. Has that been
Yes,
cleared?
we are still working on it. We do intend to have each of the houses have their own individual sprinkler systems. But what I'm trying to really iron out is, the fire chief had stated in our telephone conversation, he didn't put anything in writing, that he was hoping that each of the lots in the subdivision would have a standalone well to provide water for the sprinkler systems. And that is something that we're still trying to work through how that is going to function. It seems like a bit of an undue burden to place on the developer to have to drill 2 wells for each property, you know, one for drinking water and one for the fire supply. So there's definitely some i's that we need to dot and t's that need crossing before we can get a full understanding of this. I know that in different subdivisions that we've done in the past, particularly down off of Oak Ridge Road on Lucia Way, we're able to do cisterns there. And, you know, the cisterns had enough capacity to, you know, provide the 20 minutes of sprinkling that the fire chief was looking for. But I wasn't able to find any specific reference in your fire and safety standards online anyway that spoke to the availability of the cistern approach.
Can we just be clear? Have you made a proposal for what you want to do for fire suppression and put that in front of the fire chief? Are you speculating on what he might or might not say?
We're working through it. I need to
So I think right now, we're just saying, you're worried that he might not like something that you haven't put before him.
Correct. I just need to have all the specifics together.
We
for-
can't advise you on what he's
Sure,
gonna like
no,
and
I
what
got
he's
it.
not, so.
And Galen was good enough to give me the specific reference in the code. I just wasn't able to extract from the
I haven't heard
regulations.
us before deal with a requirement that a lot would have two wells, one for the fire suppression and one, so.
I had
so
never
I'm not
heard
sure where
that.
that's coming
So
from.
this-
It was from my conversation with the fire chief on the phone prior
This
to our
actually
last
did
meeting.
come up with the housing trust development
Okay.
recently, and they ended up not having to put in the second well. So I think that there was discussion with the
Because they had
builder.
sufficient pressure and capacity.
Yeah, it's through some, discussion with the chief between, Jay and Patco and the board, they ended up not needing to put in.
But it's
a
more
second
than a
well, but-
discussion. It met some criteria that.
There was some type of, there's some type
tank.
of tank.
There's there's
They
a
were able-
holding
that they
tank in the
Was
building.
able to use.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what we're hoping to do. I just don't have the
Okay.
gallon specifics for you tonight.
Okay,
The other dangler that we did have was, we had the location of a spotted turtle across Route 9 from the subdivision. I've been in touch with IFNW and MDEP, and we're submitting a permit by rule to, be able to potentially clear trees within that buffer area. But as I'm sure you guys are aware, we can't send anything in until we've had public notification beyond the street for 30 days. There's a new requirement with DEP that all abutters within 1,000 feet of any permit by rule or other activity be notified, and that has to be done 30 days prior to the applications being submitted to MDEP. And so that's where we're at with that right now.
okay.
So for the final subdivision, they need to have all the town and state approvals and so forth, but we don't require them to have, for preliminary subdivision review, they're not required to have all of their state approvals in line, if that's helpful for the board.
So we're saying water suppression, water sufficient for fire suppression is an outstanding issue. I think I'm putting back what I'm hearing you telling us.
That is
It's an
correct.
open issue. And the obtaining of a permit by rule for the work you want to do across the street from this spotted turtle area is an open issue.
Correct.
And
We
again,
don't-
with good reasons in both cases, but, yeah, I don't have a problem with us going forward noting those as open issues. Unless you guys seem,
No. So the update on the timeline for the spotted turtle habitat notifications?
So we have to, 30 day, it's very kind of clunky, but 30 days prior to us officially submitting to MDEP through their portal, we have to provide notification to every abutter within 1,000 feet of the project to give them ample time to comment on it, apparently, to MDEP. This is something that was enacted in a rule change this past May. We're working through the sort of onerous portion of, in certain more densely settled parts of town, notifying everybody within 1,000 feet is very expensive. Especially when you're down on the beach and you've got 800 abutters or what have you within that 500 feet. I know that they're working to reduce it to be something a bit more sane, like 200 feet, like a lot of municipalities require for abutter notification for subdivisions, but that hasn't been made into law yet. So we're kind of having to play the cards that are on the table with this. But I did make that public notice the day after our last planning board meeting 2 weeks ago. So hopefully in 2 weeks from tonight, I'll be able to actually input all the information into the MELS, and we'll get the ball rolling on getting some sort of a response from DEP about what they would like to see here.
The protected area is only 250 feet, right?
With a spotted turtle, it's 600 feet.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh.
and so it's, the turtles are about the worst things you can find out there for everybody involved. And to make, matters worse here, yes, we have a 600-foot radius from this turtle, but Route 9 is in between us and where this vernal pool is, so it's one of those things. We'll meet the letter of the law for sure, but it seems, I don't know. It's a clunky system that we're still kind of, working our way through. Thankfully, though, that was the only rare, threatened, and endangered species that was revealed in our most recent review. I know that we did have some additional turtles at the rear of Prospect Reserve, but they weren't close enough to have an effect on this subdivision.
That's it. Questions, George? Where are we with this? You remember?
Started a year ago.
So when was the last time that,
You guys were here last meeting.
We were here 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
do we leave anything?
There's one thing the staff has mentioned, it's the wetland area, this is part of what we're talking about, right? But the part of there's a cover over the turnaround, where you're covering over a portion of the wetland?
Yes, there was a portion of wetland that was located near the turnaround that for whatever reason was on the Longview Partners Wetland Delineation Plan and High Intensity Soil Survey, that when JPS Professional Services prepared the subdivision plan and then turned all their information over to Teradyne LLC, that wetland somehow fell off their CAD file or whatever it was that they shipped over. And so the last official subdivision plan that you received from JPS and the stormwater plans from Teradyne were lacking that information. I was able to get Teradyne to restore the wetland to their plan set, but because JPS is no longer in business, I haven't been able to get an updated subdivision plan from them yet.
Okay. But that's just another thing to be resolved.
Correct,
We've
sir.
got the space to do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
Neither do I.
Public hearing?
I'm looking at the notes that I have here, and I'm really drawing a blank as to when I wrote them, but stormwater system. Have we?
They're all set with Acorn.
They're
so
all
they've-
set with
yep.
Acorn. The maintenance for the stormwater system, how's that gonna be handled?
That is going to be handled through our HOA documents, which are still in process.
So you don't, okay, so
That was something that we spoke about 2 weeks ago, and
we did, that's.
Yes,
okay, all right,
and we're still working through that.
okay. That and the road maintenance agreement would all be part of the
Yes, sir.
HOA. No, that's all I had. Do you have a motion to declare this complete?
We're supposed to be doing
Public hearing.
Public hearing.
Oh, there is a public hearing tonight.
Yep.
We
As
said it
soon
was,
as you open it.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, so
Yep.
we,
Yeah.
we,
Tonight's the
Yeah.
public hearing.
tonight
Yeah.
is,
All right, I've embarrassed myself. There we go. Anybody in the audience here need to speak on this? Anybody in the Zoom audience? No hands raised. We'll close the public hearing. We satisfied that this is a I move to accept this application.
I will second
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To approve this application, excuse me. There's one more item on the agenda for this evening, number 251003, 29 Nehawk Lane. You're not on Zoom.
No, I'm not on Zoom, I'm in Kennebunkport.
I'll bring this up under other business, but I do have a question about moving forward Zoom protocol, so.
I'm Kirsten from
Hi,
Riverside and Pickering, here representing Turbot's Creek Preserve Condo. The project proposes to replace a 4 by 230 foot raised walkway. At the end of the walkway is the bump out that we discussed last time. We're gonna take that out. We are going to shorten it by 6 feet and add 6 feet to a gangway, so the overall footprint does not change at all. It has its main DE approval. There's also 2 pilings that are compromised, float pilings, excuse me, that are compromised, that we're going to replace in kind. So we're just gonna take them out and put new ones in that are new, that will hold the float system. And that's the project in a nutshell.
Didn't we hear last week that you were taking 10 feet out of the bump out?
So you know what you did? Because I made a mistake.
Okay.
So the bump out's gonna be 10 feet, not 16 feet. And so we're taking that off and lengthening the gangway so that it's safe to traverse during low tides.
Is this the public hearing for this?
Yes,
It will be.
tonight, the public hearing's tonight.
We said it was a complete application last
Okay.
time. Although you did say there were some editorial changes you were gonna make in the,
And I certainly did. I sent that over to Nadia 2 days after the meeting.
awesome,
I put the correct zone on there.
yeah.
And the
two-
correct lot size.
The 2 lots.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I notated them the way that they're supposed to be
Thank you, ma'am.
notated. I apologize for those errors.
No, it's all good. Nadia takes that stuff and posts it, and, you know, if you're not working it as a full-time job, it's hard, at least for me personally, to keep up with all of the changes, so that's why I ask, even though you had taken care of it.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'm happy to answer. I just wanted to let you know
Okay.
that.
So I was surprised, I took a closer look at this property,
Uh-oh.
and,
I did that today.
no, because, you know, I've been down there a lot, like most people, but I I thought that was just a floating dock. I was surprised to see there's a house on it.
Oh, yeah. the
There's a
boathouse.
residence on
Yes.
the dock.
So they don't live there. They do use it as a boathouse. It's as a boathouse. It does have a septic that's maintained privately. It's on the outside of the building, but we're gonna be nowhere near that.
And so there are no other alterations to the house or anything, all you're doing is just, okay.
No,
Actually has a very interesting past. I don't know whether you did any research
Oh,
on it.
no, I didn't.
it's a great property.
Well, no, the boathouse was actually configured at 1.4 overnight guests.
Oh, was it?
And,
Oh, that's cool.
The zoning commissioner came after them for that, rightly so, and then it went to the zoning board of appeals, and they agreed with the town. And then the developer, or I believe it was the developer, who had the lot that was, that had the abutment for the island, took it to the state and filed suit, and the town won.
Very
So they
good.
spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think that's because he never built a house and was
Oh.
gonna plan on living in the,
That was his retirement home, huh?
Yeah,
Whatever,
yeah.
thatch
Oh, my
bed
God.
island.
Interesting. Okay, so, any other questions? Yes?
I just have one as the case manager. I'm not sure whether we approve the
Waivers.
3 proposed waivers.
And they are?
And they are, as you might expect,
Lighting,
signs,
signage, and floor usage.
lighting, and floor area. And
I would move to approve those.
I would second
I would
that.
second, yeah, all.
Yes.
Aye.
Okay.
There's no white stripe.
There's no white stripes. No parking spots. No, that's.
Any other questions? No. That I'd open the public hearing. There's obviously no one here in the audience. Anybody online?
No hands raised on.
No? Close the public hearing.
We do have a letter from an abutter supporting.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, perfect.
That
That's
was nice.
fantastic. Yep.
So I would move to approve this application.
Second.
Aye.
4-0 approve. Thank you,
very
Kirsten.
much. I appreciate your
I
time.
know you were,
Good work.
we had heard that possibly you were gonna come in via Zoom tonight.
I was possibly going to, but I'm here.
Ah.
And even though you were the last agenda item, you stuck it out.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you for
absolutely.
that.
Come back again anytime.
Oh, thank you. If you have.
And good luck with that project.
You
Yeah.
too, yeah.
I'm sure it'll go well, but good luck with it.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I'll email you when everything's ready to be picked up to record at the registry. And you can do that, or the applicant
And who's
can
the case
also
manager?
pick that up.
Peter, you
I
said,
can pick it up, because they have a
Okay.
building permit and.
Okay.
So.
Yep, so they'll need to be recorded before we issue the building permit. But anyways, I'll be in touch when they're ready. Should be tomorrow.
Good
Thank
work,
you
you
too.
too.
And now, other business, we do have
Gotta read the findings of fact.
2 findings of fact, I believe, this evening.
So, but before we get into the findings of fact,
Oh, you want to go
I
first?
did want to ask quickly about Zoom protocol. So I
Yeah.
emailed Ed, but obviously, you
was
have
late.
a life outside of waiting for my emails, and so by the time I heard back,
Yeah, it was like 5
Kristen had
o'clock
already
before
left
I got
Portland to
back to
get
him.
here. So in the future, if we have something like a public hearing, pretty low stakes, is the board okay with applicants appearing via Zoom as opposed to in
Absolutely.
person?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Then moving forward, if someone asks, I'll simply tell them it's okay, and
You have a blessing.
there. All right, great.
Thank you.
Yep.
So who is reading findings?
I've got one.
And I've got one.
Who wants to go first?
George?
Oh, you can wrestle.
Kennebunkport Planning Board findings, fact, and decision of
Which
site
property
plan
is this for?
application. This is for the Kennebunkport Historical Society.
All
As
right,
you might
one-
well wonder,
25 North.
125 North Street, Kennebunkport, Maine. In an application dated 07/25/2025 and updated on 10/22/2025, the applicant is proposing to add a collection, storage, and archive building adjacent to the existing building with an attached vestibule. Following a site plan review pursuant to the Kennebunkport Land Use Ordinance held on 10/15/2025 and a public hearing held on 11/05/2025, the Kennebunkport Planning Board makes the following findings and conclusions and renders the following decision. Findings of fact. The owner and applicant of the property is the Kennebunkport Historical Society, 125 North Street, Kennebunkport, Maine, 04046. In Kennebunkport Historical Society meeting notes, February 2023, the applicant designated Andrea Rollerai as president and representative KHS for this matter. 2, the property has a street address of 125 North Street, Kennebunkport, Maine, 04046, identified as Assessor's Tax Map 13, Block 2, Lot 4 on the Municipal Assessor's Tax Map. 3, the owner of the Kennebunkport Historical Society has demonstrated a legal interest in the property by providing a copy of a warranty deed recorded in Book 8071, page 109 and 110 of the York County Registry of Deeds dated November 19, 1996. 4, the property is located in the free enterprise zone. 5, the lot size is 1.4 acres. 6, the existing footprint of the property will be increased from 1,950 square feet to 2,076 square feet. Maybe 7, a lighting plan has been submitted and will conform to standards. The applicant has requested submission or performance waivers from the requirements of the Kennebunkport Land Use Ordinance for the following: 240-10.6C14. There will be no additional signage and waivers are requested. The Planning Board granted the above waivers. Pursuant to the requirements of Article 10.10.a of the Land Use Ordinance Guidelines for Decisions, the Planning Board shall approve a site plan application unless it makes a negative ruling on one or more of the following identified findings which would otherwise compel denial. And the findings were yes on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and 16. Any negative finding by the board means that the application has been denied. The application is otherwise complete. Conclusions. Article 10.10.a of the Land Use Ordinance mandates that the Planning Board shall approve the site plan application unless it makes one or more identified findings that would otherwise compel denial, and as noted above, the board makes no such findings. Decision. The site plan application identified above is hereby approved. Conditions of approval, if any, pursuant to Article 10.11 and 10.12.e. 1. The applicants pursuant to 10.12.e shall notify the Planning Board prior to the transfer of rights to the construction of an approved project. No assignment or transfer of rights to construct an approved project is valid without prior review and approval by the Planning Board. 2. The applicants must record a copy of this decision and provide proof of such recordation in the form of copy thereof attested by the Registry of Deeds before any permits may issue or before any construction activity may commence. 3, the application shall comply with all terms and conditions of the Town of Kennebunkport ordinances. I will have this corrected version complete sent to you probably tonight.
Perfect. I'll print it out tomorrow.
You'll print it out tomorrow and we can all sign it.
Great. And I'll send everyone an email when it's printed and ready to sign.
Did you make that editorial change where we have to put an attribution that, before the signature block that says Kennebunkport?
Not on this one.
The one you send to Nadia, yeah.
We got a letter from the registry
Yeah.
requesting that that be put at the top, so.
Oh, yeah.
Let it be done.
I actually did fix those things, but it's still sitting in my sandbox.
Perfect.
Cool.
No worries.
All right, thank you.
All right, next.
Peter,
Next.
which property is this for?
This is for the Nehawk Lane
Okay.
replacement in kind of the pier.
Oh, good.
Kennebunkport Planning Board findings of fact and decision, application of Turbot's Creek Preserve condominium for the reconstruction of a recreational pier, 29 Nehawk Lane. Following the site plan review pursuant to the Kennebunkport Land Use Ordinance held on 5 November 2025, and the public hearing held on 19 November 2025, the Kennebunkport Planning Board makes the following findings of fact and conclusions and renders the following decision subject to the conditions enumerated below. Findings of facts are as follows. Number 1, the applicant is Turbot's Creek Preserve condominium of 29 Nehawk Lane, Kennebunkport, Maine, 04046. In a letter dated 26 October 2025, Sheila A. Gallagher, president of the Condominium Association, authorized TF Moran, Inc. and Riverside and Pickering Marine Contractors to act as their agent in this matter. Kirsten Fordham of Riverside Pickering represented the applicant in discussions before the Planning Board. 2, property is located at 29 Nehawk Lane, Kennebunkport, Maine, 04046. 3, property is identified as map 21, block 3, lots 2Z and 2A on the municipal tax assessor's maps. Number 4, property is located in the Village Residential East Zone, and the shoreline and resource protection zones overlay the property. Number 5, condominium property includes 6 residential units plus several common areas encompassing a total of 11.56 acres. That is for lot 21-3-2Z, plus an offshore island common area known as Thatchbed Island of approximately 0.14 acres, which is lot 21-3-2A. Property has an existing non-conforming pier that connects the land to Thatchbed Island. Number 6, the applicant demonstrated a legal interest in units 6 and 7 within the condominium by providing a warranty deed for unit 7, which includes an pertinent interest in the common area anchoring the upland end of the pier, conveyed to Michael S. Cooperman and Ann Archer, which was recorded in the York County Registry of Deeds, Book 18963, page 647, on 28 February 2022, and a deed for Unit 6, which includes an appurtenant interest in the common area thatch bed island, which is the terminus of the pier, conveyed to Keenan Saban, which was recorded in the York County Registry of Deeds, Book 10-110, page 260, on 10 July 2000. The existing damaged pier, number 7, the existing damaged pier is owned by the condominium association and is used to access a boathouse, deck, shed, and floating dock on Thatch Bed Island for recreational purposes. The pier is currently unsafe and in need of replacement. The pier measures 4 foot wide by 230 foot in length, and on Thatch Bed Island there is a small bump out extension from the main pier that supports a gangway to a floating dock. Number 8, in an application dated 23 October 2025, the applicant is proposing to reconstruct the pier in kind with the exception of shortening the dock access bump out by 6 feet in order to accommodate a longer gangway that would reduce the steepness of access to the floating dock at lower tides. Number 9, the pier is a non-conforming structure built into a waterway now deemed a high-velocity zone in which such structures are non-conforming. Number 10, applicant applied for and received a permit by rule acceptance notice for the proposed project on 9 June 2025 from the Maine DEP. Number 11, applicant requested waivers from submitting site plan reviews for lighting, signs, and proposed use of floor area, ordinances 240-10.6C, 13, 14, and 15, and the planning board approved those requests. Number 12, pursuant to the requirements of Article 1010A of the Land Use Ordinance, the planning board shall approve a site plan application unless it makes a negative ruling on one or more of the following identified findings, which would otherwise compel denial. And they are, there's an NA on item 4, which is the provision for buffers and on-site landscaping provide for adequate protection to neighboring properties from detrimental features of the development. Finding there is NA, and the note is there are erosion and sediment control measures required in the Maine DEP's permit by rule acceptance notice. There is also an NA on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is adequate provision has been made for the disposal of wastewater or solid waste and for the prevention of ground or surface water contamination, and the finding on that is NA. On number 11, adequate provision has been made to handle stormwater runoff or other drainage problems on the site. Finding there is NA, and they were all otherwise yes. Number 13, when a proposed development is located within the shoreland or resource protection zones, in addition to the requirements of the Kennebunkport land use ordinances outlined above, approval of the development also requires that the board make positive findings based on the information presented that the proposed use, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items, are all yes, with the exception of item 5 rather, which is will protect archaeological and historic resources as designated in the comprehensive plan, where the finding is NA. Any negative findings by the board mean that the application has been denied. The application is otherwise complete. Conclusions. Article 1010A of the Land Use Ordinance mandates that the planning board shall approve a site plan application unless it makes one or more identified findings that would otherwise compel denial. As is noted above, the board makes no such findings. Decision. The site plan application identified above is hereby approved. Conditions of approval, if any, pursuant to the Article 1010 and 1012E. Number 1, the applicant pursuant to 1012E shall notify the planning board prior to the transfer of rights to construct an approved project. Number 2, The applicant must record a copy of this decision and provide proof of such recordation in the York County Registry of Deeds before any permits may issue or before any construction activity may commence. Number 3, construction plans shall include a professional engineer's stamp. Number 4, applicant shall confirm that any septic tank cistern that may still exist on the property, the island, shall not be disturbed or otherwise impacted by the reconstruction of the pier. Number 5, any areas of soil disturbance at completion of construction shall be stabilized with vegetation and mulch in accordance with the Maine Erosion and Sediment Control Best Management Practices Manual. And number 6, applicant shall comply with all terms and conditions of the Town of Kennebunkport ordinances, including Section 219, floodplain management, as well as the main DEP approvals prior to the issuance of a building permit.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you, Peter. Any other questions or items? Anybody?
Not for me.
I would move that we accept both of those findings of fact.
Grand idea. Second that.
Aye.
4-0.
I'd like to make another motion.
Please.
We adjourn.
I would second
I
that.
second that.
Aye.
Aye.
4-0. Thank you all.
Thanks, Gus.
Just the one thing.
No.